action.
Hi guys, we're on chapter 19 today, and the title from this chapter comes from an old song that you might not know, or maybe you do, but the song goes, "The answer, my friends, is blowing in the wind." This one, the title is, "The answer, my friend, is blowing on my ear." "I need an administrative assistant," I tell my mother. She's at the kitchen table. It is covered in bills. "If you want me to study for school and run the agency, there is no other way." She doesn't say anything, so I ask again. "Listen, if you just float me the funds at a reasonable rate of interest, I can hire said administrative assistant." She turns her head toward me. "Timmy, the stationery store cut back my hours, so right now I'm a little short of said funds." I stare at the mess of paper on the kitchen table, and I pick up one of the credit card bills. In big bold letters, it says this: "Total amount past due, $1,485.23. "This is it?" I say, holding out the bill. "This is what?" she asks. "These sums," I say. "They're trifling." I hold up the phone bill, the gas bill, and a doctor bill. "With the amount of money Total Failure Inc. will be taking in by the end of the fiscal year, I'll practically be able to pay this stuff out of petty cash." She rests her cheek against the top of my head. "It will be a loan, of course," I tell her. "Timmy Failure doesn't give handouts." She wraps both her arms around my chest and squeezes me into hers. "But when the agency expands, we'll most likely have a position for you, and we'll just deduct the funds owed from your paycheck." She blows really hard into my ear. It's something she does sometimes because it makes me laugh. "Be professional," I tell her. She stops. "Do it again," I say. Chapter 20. It's supposed to be "been there, done that." You know that phrase? But this one is "been there, done that." What's up with that? I am climbing Rollo Tukis's dresser to show him how the monkeys put the toilet paper in the Weber's tree. Remember that incident? The TP incident? He's barely paying attention. "Sorry, our English test is in 4 days. I can't focus." So I tell him about Garbanzo Man. "Who's Garbanzo Man?" "He's the agency's new mascot. I built him out of old clothes and a paper bag, all of which I stuffed with newspapers." I show him a snapshot I keep in my pocket. Dun, dun, dun. "What's the point?" asks Rollo. "He's meant to convey a sense of fearsome greatness. I want to really intimidate the idiot that stole the failure mobile. Intimidate the person so much that they give it back. I'm going to put him on our front lawn next to a big sign that says, 'Garbanzo Man sees all.'" That doesn't make any sense. "You don't make any sense. You're not focused," I tell him. "Besides, you know nothing about marketing." "Why'd you name him Garbanzo Man?" "Because garbanzo means big." You're thinking of giganto. Garbanzo is a bean. This is true. Garbanzo beans. That's the thing about guys like Rollo Tukis. They think they know everything, but they don't. "Anyhow, I have to study," Rollo says. "I've got my tutor coming over to help me in half an hour." This is where I should tell you about the little fly in the ointment of my friendship with Rollo Tukis. Actually, it's not a little fly. It's a garbanzo fly. And it looks like this. That's right. Rollo Tukis's tutor is none other than the Beast. And I don't want to rehash the umpteen arguments this has caused, so I'll just sum up our respective positions. Rollo's position: Corinna is really smart and helps him get A's. Timmy's position: Rollo is a big stupid traitor. Now, in fairness, I will say that when Rollo is around me, he tries not to say her name. He just says tutor. And he gives me plenty of warning before she comes over, so I don't have to be in the same room with someone so unethical. All right, Rollo, I'm out of here. But do me a favor. Be on the lookout for clues. I think your tutor may have committed Grand Theft Auto. What are you talking about? I think she stole the failure mobile. Rollo closes his book and stares at me. Her dad is rich, Timmy. I don't think she needs your failure mobile. This isn't about what she needs, Rollo. This is about what I need. And I need the failure mobile. Don't you recognize industrial sabotage when you see it? Listen, Timmy, I really have to study. If you're so sure she took it, why don't you pay a surprise visit to that bank where she has her office? See if it's there. I have to admit, it was the one decent tip Rollo's ever given me. So I drop a quarter in his pencil cup and pat him on the head. I show myself out and walk down the gritty streets. Streets strewn with crumpled newspapers. A whole lot of crumpled newspapers. A trail of which leads to my front lawn and to the remnants of a man who was not as fearsome and garbanzo as I thought. Oh, garbanzo man. Chapter 21. You can always go downtown. I head downtown to do reconnaissance on CCIA headquarters. Because I am so well known and don't want to draw attention to myself, I go undercover. Under my bed cover. Even so, I hate to miss an opportunity to promote, so I use the back of the blanket. Greatness. Unfortunately, the disguise does not help, and I am hounded by admirers. Got any free cheese? But I do not mind, for on these downtown streets, I sense it. The whole world has changed. Changed because in the shadow of the future home of Total Failure, Inc., I see my destiny. A destiny with which no man can tinker. I am the soon-to-be head of the world's largest detective agency, a multi-billion-dollar employer of thousands who made it big by adhering to one simple credo: greatness. I am a detective without peer, a visionary without limits, a pioneer of tomorrow whose only challenge now is to remain humble. So for now, I walk humbly down the sidewalk to the pathetic bank that is CCIA's headquarters, all to follow up on Rollo's tip about the failure mobile. A tip that will prove to be wrong, because Rollo Tukis is always wrong. But that's okay, because the tip has brought me here to the site of my skyscraper of greatness, which is right next door to the bank, behind which is something I recognize. The whole world has changed. Chapter 22. Happiness is not a dumb blanket. Here's how this chapter should have gone. Timmy Failure runs to the back of the bank. He seizes the failure mobile. The evil one bursts out of the bank's front door. Timmy seizes her by the collar of her evil coat. "I have caught you, evil one." the evil one shrieks. Your shrieks will not avail you, Timmy declares, for you've been caught red-handed. The evil one cries. Your tears will avail you not, Timmy declares, for you are history, as is your agency. It is all over. You are through. Head down, hands cuffed behind her evil back, the evil one calls out to Timmy as she's escorted to the police van. What do you want, evil one? Asks a gracious Timmy. To tell you one thing, she replies, drooling with envy from one corner of her sad little mouth. Say it, Timmy commands. You are greatness personified, she says. But that is not how this chapter will go, because before all that could happen, this did. That's right. The United States government stopped me by snagging a corner of my bed cover under one of their mailboxes. Why? A bribe. By whom? Her nickname rhymes with the Weevil Bun. Let me just say this. It's a sad day when the government of the people, by the people, and for the people decides to affix those people to mailboxes. But affix me they did, and trapped I was, until 20 minutes later when I realized I could take the blanket off my head. Only to see I was too late, for the failure mobile was gone. Used to be here. Surely whisked off by the same government officials who affixed me to the mailbox. But okay, now I knew the odds. Me against the Weevil Bun and all the governments of the world. Daunting for most, but I am not most. I am Timmy Failure, and no person or government or force of nature can stop me. Except maybe being cold at night because I forgot to retrieve my blanket and can't depend on a friend to share his. It's a rough life when you're Timmy. Next time we'll read chapter 23. It's called The Timinator's Judgment Day. Bye, guys.